to see here. Okay, that's better.
Are you okay with?
Okay, I'm going to start the cloud recording. And I'll make the announcement. And welcome everyone to the 5th International Knowledge Seekers Workshop, Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And we're going to start off today's teaching with a video, promotional video from the Keshe Foundation for World Peace. And we'll play that now.
You have the full potential of achieving everything in the universe. There is no need and there is no reason for man not to achieve. So, wherever you are, the way I taught you to make the coils double coil inside, you have continuous equal gravitational magnetic field, and if you put CO2 on it, and you put zinc on it, you have connected the emotion of the man to it on a stable condition, and you'll find out you become a very peaceful man. Here, instead of having galaxies and universes and creating connection magnetically, we have used the matter state gravitational magnetic field strength to dominate and dictate the shape of the plasma. The nanotechnology, the nanomaterial which you have collectively developed in different ways, by caustic, by electric currents, by whatever, fire or whatever, has that advantage that the matter, the nano and the plasma is all the same. So connection is very solid. Is very strong. The power of the plasma technology, the way we have thought, is beyond imagination of the man. Now you can create and control the plasma, which is the mother of the creation of the universe. You are given the seed of the essence of the creation. The foundation does not belong to no one and is not made of one anymore. You are developing it, you are structuring it, and from today we will be still the same. We'll still develop the technology in different names, in different colors, in different nationalities which they do not exist. It is beautiful when we see the Christian, the Muslims, the Jews, and every other belief are working together to build up systems. We have already become one faith. We already have become one nation, and we already become one planet. You got to remember one thing. Dates is irrelevant. Today is the last day of the Christian calendar, or tomorrow is the beginning of another. One day is connected to another. We don't stop. We are working around the clock. The Keshe Foundation team is working irrespective of time, position, religion, country. and now we achieve what we set out for.
Okay, that's had a bit of a glitch at the ending of that video, but that's the video for today. And I think we're ready now with Mr. Keshe at the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute for today's news from the International Workshop. Mr. Keshe, are you ready to begin there?
Yes. Good day, good morning, good afternoon to you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these knowledge seeker programs. As part of our work, we still keep on teaching and carrying on in sharing knowledge. And in one way or another, we are learning together how to find new solutions for the problems which, in so many ways, uh, there were not much solution for up to now, or at least we find a new way of doing things in a different way. Maybe it's better way, faster way, and the rest of it. One of the most important things which is coming up, and we see it, is this situation with the teachings and how we teach. On Thursday, hopefully we make a new announcement regarding teaching online, and we should be able to, as we said, to bring the teaching on €100 per student on a minimum voluntary donation, and then we'll see where we can go and how we can extend this. There is a lot of questions in what we do and how we do things and where we're going to go, the way we are structuring the things. But in general, we carry on the same path, teaching, expanding knowledge, and going to the point that we can all be ready to help each other at the point of need. There are a couple of usual ways. As I said, we don't make any separation between Thursdays and Tuesdays anymore. On Tuesdays, we see if there are any international uh, discoveries or whatever that it can be shared or people would like to share. On the other hand, um, we are getting a lot of background information on a lot of activities which a lot of people are doing for the foundation. Meetings around the world, presentations in different countries. Please make sure the ethos of the Keshe Foundation stays the same wherever you're teaching. Whenever you're teaching, make sure at least you have the peace treaty to be signed by the people who attend your meetings. This is the backbone of the teaching. We have put the peace treaty to be signed by those who attend the conference in the way. The conference in the way will still is in this very progressive way going ahead. We might announce a lot of people wanted tickets to be, they have a problem with the airline tickets they couldn't get or the visas. This all be answered to. We'll add a link to our website the next day or two where you can directly go to the airlines, and the discounted rate has been getting agreed. Hopefully, I was waiting for it to be released by today or by tomorrow. And then when we release it, we receive it, we add a link to the website. You can go and what they call it, they're trying to arrange a cooperative discount, or the place, the company you buy the tickets from can organize your visas too. So anybody needs a visa on that places, and then they can organize your transportation from the airport to the hotels. All can be done by one organization. We'll put this up most probably by Thursday public teaching. The structure is, we would like you, we would love for you to bring with you to the center the all the systems you have built, all the system you are building, all the systems which is part of your work, that we can share the knowledge, we can teach each other. Bring your understanding to us, bring your systems to us. Um, the way you develop, you can't bring it. Uh, just make videos, processes you want to show. This is a knowledge seeking meeting as much as the international teaching, in a way for us to understand each other. So as we announced before, we announce again, and we announce till we get to the meeting, bring with you everything you want to show. We have organized a specific area for people to show their systems. On the other hand, the program with the conferences and that we announced stays the same. And what we'll ask you is please to book your tickets. And now that we're making facilities for your visas, the organization has the company we have brought in to organize your visas, and most probably very high discounted rate tickets are trying to bring in with different airlines from different part of the world. So in the process you can get the ticket, but the tickets are connected to the venue. You cannot just buy cheap tickets. If the venue tickets are not bought, the ticket will not be processed. We link it up that they can be checked immediately. On the other hand, we have seen a number of things which are happening in the background. A lot of people trying to show different developments, and we are trying to start what we call different trials for different systems and commercialization of different systems. Usually on Tuesdays we do the health and other things in general, and it is with the greatest pleasure to announce, I think, if Renan is in the background, can tell us what happened today. This is a public milestone change in the whole structure of the Keshe Foundation Health site. Brennan, are you there, please?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Could you explain to us what you've done, what you've achieved? Because it's in a small way, it's a very big way for the foundation on the health
Yeah.
side.
Okay. Yes. Today we just had our formal collaboration with the local hospital and a local university, medical university here in the Philippines, that allowed us to bring and use the plasma devices, plasma micrograph health unit in their community service hospital. So just this morning, Mr. Kesh gave us how to use the device and other devices to apply with the patient that we have introduced to him during that. So we will be building many cases as we progress. And for now, we are handling a myoma case that is already have grown plenty of tumors inside her womb. So this is amazing because this is our first time to do the live collaboration with Keshe Foundation, with Mr. Kesh and the Keshe Foundation here in the Philippines. And we are so blessed with our doctor who have been open-minded and been open to the technology. So thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity to proceed and to progress in this challenge, especially documenting everything from all the aspects of medical diagnosis until all the events that we will be doing. So we will be documenting step by step all the process the whole time that we will progress, and eventually we will share this to the Keshe Foundation family to see how we go about the studies. So the doctor, Dr. Jane Silosha, she will be doing the medical documentation. So, and this is only the first case that is presented with Mr. Kesh, but we have already had a previous case before, which I presented in the private teachings, and it's the same hospital who supported us to have documentation. And there's a good news because the director of the hospital advised Dr. Jane that she would include in the case studies the case of the first one that we handled, the one who had a titanium part at the back. So it will be, the case will be brought to the university, to the college, the medical college, and will be presented as a part of their case studies. So I think this university will be the first one that will surely accept plasma technology in the coming times. So we look forward in collaborating with them.
Could you explain to us what was the first case? Because you taught in a private teaching.
Yes, the first case was a person who had a titanium implant on his backbone because what happened there he had a TB virus on his spinal, so which ate about three areas of the spinal, three and not three, four portions of his spinal cord, and it was rotten by the tuberculosis virus, and they operated it uh, and clean it out, and they put a titanium steel to straighten the spinal cord. So what we just did is not to really heal it. First is what we just did. We assist the person to recover as fast as possible. Just introducing some patches and bed mats for painless recovery. So the doctors advised us that he will be recovering 6 months from operation. It means that 6 months from operation, he can then walk and stand with assistance.
Hello? Hello, Renan. Hello, Renan. Oh, it's a
Hello,
line.
I got cut off for a while. Sorry.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, so what happened then was uh, what we did is we just supported him with a device at the back so that the pain will be lessened and he can recover.
Hello.
Sorry. My computer just connected. I disconnected. So what happened then is I we prepared the devices, the bed sheet that that he will lie down so that the pain will ease out at his operated back. So for just 1 week from the operation, he was able to stand without assistance and already walk. So right now we visited him. It's been 2 months. He was already discharged from the hospital, and he was in his home. So we went there and we found him there and interviewed him. And after interviewing him, we have a video documentation with him that he can already walk around with no support at all. So he recovered in just 2 months, and there's a just little bit pain on the legs, but still we use the patches to relieve the pain and to do quick recovery. So that's the first case that was being documented. So we will be completing that case. That case will be forwarded to the medical directors in that college, medical college, because her director, the doctor's director, suggested to include that in the case study reports. So that's another opportunity for plasma technology of the Keshe Foundation will be presented in the university, in a medical university. So this is the second case which we had, that is full start documentation, because this is from diagnosis of a myoma case without any operation yet, and then we'll be processing using plasma devices. So that's the two cases that we are handling. So we have so much cases to handle here, as we know that we are in the third world country, and there are many marginalized people here have cannot afford. So the community service hospital is the venue for these people to get access for free medication and they will get sponsors to handle their cases. So this is the one big opportunity for Keshe Foundation to help, especially the people here in the Philippines in this endeavor. Thank you, sir.
You think let me explain this morning when we met with the
Mm.
doctor. They have a full analysis, a full history. She explained to us first, and then we suggested the way we see it for the systems to be used in a procedure that the hospital has a full track record of this patient, and they have all the analysis, the blood analysis, and the rest. So it was nice to work with this doctor. This is what we've done before. We always collaborated with the doctors. Now it's directly in public. I think what is going to be done in Philippines is just instead of taking just one case, we should do like a session in the morning, maybe 10 or 15 people that we cover. If the hospital can, in conjunction with the Keshe Foundation, monitor all in different ways. That we become not just one case, but a permanent status in there. And maybe we can ask the people around the world who want to go to Philippines. They are going to spend a lot of money to get themselves helped, but they do for alternative. They can pay into the hospital that we expand supporting the nationals there, the ones who can afford it, till we open the other research centers, health centers. Thank you very
Yes, that
much.
would be great, sir. Thank you, sir.
Speak to the hospital or to university, and make that a permanent. Like we can meet every Tuesday morning or whatever before the teachings for 2 or 3 hours. That we can consider case by case if it needs for us to come in. Otherwise, your people in there are competent to do it,
Yes, sir.
to handle it. So not to be one case, but make it a room that anybody from anywhere can walk in, and we'll see what we can do. And it's not much to help people to change their lives.
Okay, sir.
So
I'll set a meeting with the director, sir, so we can discuss more
uh,
clearly as they are now open to the technology.
yes, they're open. It was getting in and doing it, and now they're open. I saw your systems. That is fantastic. Thank you very much for the whole innovation team in Philippines. The way you're
Thank you,
supporting
sir.
everything. I have to let you know another piece of information, and that is, if you remember, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had Armand who showed us the pen which is used for diabetic, and we had a lot of comments that it can be used for drug addiction, to overcome drug addiction, and some of you suggested new materials to be used and everything else. Since that time, Armand has made 5 units. I have to remember to get him the thing just right. This one I forgot. For pen, I don't forget. Um, we have uh, asked Armand to build a few more of these things, and we have received 5 units from Armand, exactly, some with 3 points and some with 1 pointer. And these units were dispatched to more or less 3 different destinations, but now it's delivered into 4 different destinations. One in France, and one in Dubai, and one in US. And we started the first trial 2 days ago with these pens in Dubai, with a doctor here. And last night we had the first meeting between the people who are going to use these systems, these pens. The first thing is going to be done is going to be used for diabetic. And then we found another volunteer in Dubai that he has a multiple of high pressure, cholesterol, and diabetic. And he was with us this morning, and we meet him most probably tomorrow, that the fourth pen can be used for this purpose. So, but all the data will be documented by doctors. And one of the uh, doctors and this data will be monitored and collected and passed on to a Nobel Prize laureate, that they will bring everything together that is correct, that papers and the information will be released according to on a scientific basis. And it's important for us to start bringing in the collaboration of doctors and the scientific organizations around the world. This gives a lot of support into our work. People don't care if they don't have energy, but if they cannot walk, they cannot eat, it matters to them on a daily basis. So what we got to do, as you understand, the backbone of the Keshe Foundation to be where it is has been the health application. So try to do what Renan has done, try to do what we've done for a long time. Enter the world of Keshe Foundation with the people's health. The way our teams around the world are using and giving these pens away to for other people to use it, that their pain can be eradicated. We have a report most probably on Thursday, if it's correct, not if it's correct, if we can get the videos that our line is correct to connect with Ghana, with Benjamin. We start because 18th on Thursday is the um, blueprint day for agriculture and decontamination. We have a number of things which can be shown people have done and the way we will work. And in that process, the Innovation Center will release new systems which are working on. Benjamin will release data for decontamination of water with the scientific data from laboratories from the government. You got to understand now that we are embedded within the structure of the university in Ghana and the Atomic Energy Authorities of Ghana. So he's been given and is getting more facilities by the time we complete our process with them. And one of the cases which was reported to us is one of the doctors in the university who has had a paralyzed hand through the stroke, not being able to use it, duration, I don't know, 1 or 2 years. He has to start using systems and in a matter of past 2 weeks. And there is a report that he has to start using his hand that he can drive a car again. That's how much he's changed. So he's been in that arm paralysis. Is Benjamin in the background? Can we bring him in? Or we have no line to Ghana? Rick, do you see him anywhere?
There now. If he's in as a viewer, if you can put your hand up, Benjamin, then be able to see you there. I don't see him in
You're in the live stream in the background.
up there.
You don't see him. It's okay. So
Not yet. I'll keep looking
yeah,
here.
yeah, because this is a position with Ghana. We have a problem with the internet. We're trying to sort it out through foundation that we have an independent line directly for teaching. In that process, we have brought a condition that we are bringing scientists and doctors. I have seen on the list of the teachers in the Italian Keshe Foundation to start in March. There are a number of doctors. I know one is a brain specialist, I met him before, that they are coming on board, and we hopefully through the Keshe Foundation Italy will have more interaction with the scientific world in the way of they can test things or they can evaluate things as we go along. This is how we started. We started very small, and now gradually people see the usage, and we are literally walking into the different conditions, and more or less due to the simplicity and way the structure of this technology is, people use it themselves. They can see the use themselves, they can use how to apply it and how to use it. It is important to understand the health section will change a lot of things in respect to the Keshe Foundation. Technology cannot damage, so the only thing is it shows improvement and changes. So if you are working on the pen pans and pens, give it to people, do what you like with it, that it can be done. We have, and we can confirm that we have received confirmation from our manufacturing side that they have received CE authorization for a pen and a pad. So they are officially medical equipment. They have received CE certification of health equipment or systems. This changes a lot of things in a way that we are not only allowing people to test it and the doctors getting to test it. Now you can order the pen directly from the Keshe Foundation. It's on the website. They're going to start delivering from the 22nd. Delivery is due. All the pens and the pads to be released, and every box carries a CE certification on it. Everything is certified and will be used in that way. The pads has changed to a very beautiful packaging in the blue, as you see it on the website, and we would like you to report back to us as the testimonial what you've done with it, because all of us is not a recipe, a menu, the way to make a cake. We have different ways of a structure. We are emotionally affected different way. We have different diseases. We cannot, one is not like the other. So if you can, bring it in and let us see. Bring the testimonial. You can go to the foundation website and buy or order these pens and pads. We release very high quality pictures of them now that the whole production is completed by next week. It's taken time, but it's highly professional job. It had to be certified, tested in laboratories by government health sections, and it'll be done, and it's done. So the health section is becoming open on its own. The energy is becoming on its own. That's the picture as you see. These pen pads and pens have passed rigorous certification of health as a tool. We have certificate category 2, which means doctors can prescribe it for their patients. Doctors can use it because it's analyzed what it is, what it can do, and we want to add to it. It is in so many ways how we are opening the knowledge to public through its application. This is how we are sending the information out to public. It'll be high quality pictures. This was sent to us by the factory, and we thought we'd let you see. Everything is done in a very beautiful way by the manufacturers, and the pens is the same. These are now a certified CE certified document. The reason we didn't release them up to now, we were waiting for documentation to arrive that we are correct in our work. And now it's what you see, a system you can use in sooner or later. This should be in the households, everyone's pack of equipments, like we will carry a thermometer. I had today, I was with someone who they had an operation yesterday or the day before, and because they had a pen in the house and the pad was there, they have used the pen to reduce the operational pain, which was very strange for me. This, and people see, they find different ways to do it, and we allow you to expand on it. We allow you to work on it, and we ask you to work on it, that we can find out what it is. Sooner or later we'll make a section for all the applications, what it does, how it's going to be used. Is just progressing to gather enough data that we can put it together for every application. These pads, there is possibility, this is not, we just advise you. You can use this for tumors, cancer tumors, if you can use it, one in the front, one in the back. You can use these we had some reports in the past that they have reduced cancer tumors by quite amount, large amount. So now that it's in the market, we are testing it ourselves, to totality of us, use it. Use this for the back pain, for muscle pain. And then the new pads which are coming into operation, we release more and more of what they can do and how they can be used. For instantaneous pain in the shoulders and everything else. This one pad is not the way it was before, which was coming from China. It was very inferior quality. We were not happy with it. Now we produce high quality. Even the cloth is certified cloth for health use. What we are trying to do, we are trying in the long run to allow the name KFSSI, Keshe Foundation Special Institute, become a brand on its own to delivering what it does. We don't get everything right. Some places we get it wrong, as usual, but in large, you are feeding the process. Just 1 second, please. what is important to all of us, that is to understand that we do not go out to do extremes to try to prove the limitation. When is there is a need, apply it. We will release new systems for health. We are still working in the background to release the new energy systems, if it's there and the results come in. The whole understanding is that the systems have to be working by application, not just by thinking it might do. We have and we release as much possible these units across the world that people can in so many ways use their own system at home. So what is important is we've been upfront with everything, and this is our success. A lot of people try to explain different ways, we do different things. This is the way we do it. We do it as a family. We succeed together, we learn together, and we go forward. And this is important. We don't get everything right, and it's our right not to get it right because we are human beings and we make mistakes, we put it right, we can add to it, we extend it. The other units which will be marketed in the coming time, it will be the, as I said, change of conversion of the acidic or to alkaline water, purification. These all be taught on Thursday, Blueprint Day, and it will be more or less done mainly by the people who are working or they've done their process and come in. One of them will be done by the gentleman in US who is taking over the Keshe Foundation in Africa, another section to us. He's a doctor, which he will introduce himself on Wednesday, on Thursday teaching, and he's going back to Kenya for the agriculture part and development of the Keshe Foundation in Africa. As I said before, we are heavily investing in Africa. Part of our work is and will be supporting the other nations who we think need to be that they are on equal keel, that they come up together. So we have and we'll set up, if you are a Keshe Foundation in different African nations, please contact the Keshe Foundation. As long as your work is within the parameters of us, we can do a security check on what it is. We'll let you to establish and we work with you to do it. There is another piece of information which we hopefully release it by Thursday. A lot of you who are sitting in the background manufacturing, most of these manufacturing contracts are ready to be signed. Sylvester will start, as I spoke just before this teachings, contacting you to start the production. In the background, if you want to produce the coils or whatever, we have now completed the process with Jeff DuPont in Canada for releasing the first machine. You can buy it on the site of the website of Keshe Foundation. By this Thursday, it should be up. The machine works on making the coil, is computerized, it comes with its own laptop, and you will do how many winding you want to do, the way you want to do the winding, the gap with it, and everything else. And then in the package is included what we call gas nano coating system, which your tube, your cores or your coils can be nano coated once you made your tune, the coils. This system, according to what I've been told, I had a look at it a couple of days ago with Jeff DuPont, you can produce one coil a minute and you can nano coat one coil per minute. So in this process, what we calculated, each machine can use or produce in the region of 120 set a day. If you're a factory, you're thinking of setting up, let's say, 1,000, 2,000 production a day, that's on one shift. You can do about something 300 to 500, depends how you run your systems a day. So you need 2 or 3 systems, 2 or 3 people to work on the systems, and you can stop producing. This is what we promised you. We try to support people who come with ideas. And so the first coil making and nano coating by fire is on production. Do we see Jeff DePont in the background? Is he there that he can explain himself?
Yes, I believe he's there. I don't know if he can explain himself. I
Okay.
can't put words in his mouth. But
Yeah.
JF, do you want to say
Do you want to
something
add
there?
anything to this?
Not sure if he's actually right by his
There.
computer
He's
or
by
not
his
there.
computer. Okay. The system will be packed in the packages that it can be delivered anywhere around the world as a system, as a machine. And Jeff has made it in a way that you can use a battery in African nations or third world nations, or if you live somewhere you don't have any electricity as such, you can use a car battery to run your system. So it's versatile in application and it's been priced around €7,500 for a whole system. That is, you can do, and then what I asked Jeff to do is to write a program on the computer if you want, and he can support, there's a support directly with him to tell you what to do, how to elevate it, or evaluate it, or use it. So the first machine from the Keshe Foundation support teams, which is done by Jeff, is in online to buy. You can make as many if you want to make it, coils for the uh, pens, you can make it. If you want to make the space coils, you can make it. You can now have the tool in your hand. It's more or less tabletop in two sections as I've seen it. It'll be packaged and shipped out of Canada. And as we said, the application of this technology will bring a lot of employments. And I have asked him the first few pieces to be done that we can ship to Africa, that they can be used by people like um, what do you call it, in Ghana, or in Nigeria and other African countries, continents, part of the world. In so many ways, we start going into you telling us what you've done and what you can do, and then we evaluate it and we try to support it. Is there anything else in the background which you can tell us? Is there anybody teaching us this today, Rick?
Well, we've got, I think we have several people that want to present things here. There's, trying to see who it was that left the message earlier, if I get back to that. Just a second, there's lots of messages from Coastal in here. Let me just get back.
Is there anybody showing anything, or are we going to other teachings?
Well, I was going to just briefly show the some of the blueprint creations that people have, and just let's just have a quick look at that, perhaps. That lined up here.
As you can see, the heading of the Keshe Foundation has changed. Everything Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, all the websites have changed in the past couple of weeks, and it'll change more. Carry on.
Yeah, so, okay, so in this one we have one of the latest ones. This is from Poland, from Mariusz. It talks about how it changed to a shiny, a dark violet color. It changed color after he connected it, and so on. Just wanted to sort of briefly go through and just so you see the depth of people in terms of, there's Poland, the next person's from Portugal. He's doesn't have a picture there.
But while you're there, can you just stop there somewhere? Is Kevin Davina online? Kevin,
hello, Mr. Keshe. How are you doing?
Yes, something. You wrote something about there was a meeting in Poland with 2,000 people last weekend.
Yeah, it was. They had a workshop, and I thought they wanted me to do an introduction, and I said I'm going to ask spontaneously, Mr. Kesh, if you have a few minutes, but I think you were too busy, so I made a joke. I made a little bit remarks and comments on how on the technology, on the knowledge. So I thought maybe you can comment on that. But they are really a huge crowd, and they've just posted I think their last workshop, Polish workshop. They're very active. Polish people are totally. I mean, I've grown up with Polish people in Austria, and they're one of the most. I mean, craftsmanship and technical people, and. Uh, uh, I think they'll be one of the first ones to come out with many innovations.
Who organized this meeting?
I
What
think it
was the
was
host?
Pavel. Let me just tell you
Paweł Braszko.
exactly. Thank you. Yes,
Is he
and there's
there?
just
Is he online?
Rick, and I'm not sure whether you received an email. It's about a 16-year-old Polish boy, very skilled, very talented, who wants to, is very supported by his community and his parents. And I think these are the people we should, support more. These young people. And
I've got
yep.
a Paul Braska here that I've just promoted to panelist. Maybe we can get him to speak if he's not too shy. Powell, can you? I'll unmute you and see if you want to speak.
Yes, hello. Hello, good morning, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, well, basically, we start like 6 or maybe 7 weeks ago, getting people together around the Keshe Foundation, because at the very beginning, we started as a fun, actually. And then basically the whole phenomenon become, more serious. There was much more people involved. And actually they start designing their own projects, and they start creating different combinations and let's say solutions for the micrograph units. And then basically we decide that we're gonna start the Polish knowledge workshops, and then that's how we get for so far. You know what I mean? So we've got a few projects which one has been developed, let's say, in a way where we've been able to achieve something. But I spoke about that, with Mr. Keshe, I think 2 weeks ago, during our private teachings, that we're gonna come out with everything as far as we're gonna be able to obtain a bit more details about the phenomenon, and then we're gonna be able to replicate it.
How many of you are in this group?
It's very hard to say, to be honest, Mr. Kesh, because there is a decent people watching us, a decent number of people listening to us. There is a huge amount of people having devices at their own, houses, in the cars, and there is, I don't know, thousands of people probably doing the pens and the pads already. And actually 2 or 3 weeks ago, we decide to make a bit action of it, and we decide to create something like 100 pens for everybody, which means that we start sending the pens to the people which one are the poorest ones, and they are in need, especially from taking the health under consideration, health conditions. So far we start sending those things together with CO2 containers, and then we're just waiting for the feedbacks.
Thank you very much for carrying the ethos of the Keshe Foundation.
Well, it's all pressure on our side, Mr. Kesh.
So in a way you are teaching and people are making it and delivering it to the needy that they need for the pen or the pad. What's the program? This is a beautiful one. Is this with yours with a battery with a cross on it?
Yes, that's what actually I suggested on one of my teachings, because, well, it's maybe not the teachings, we just share the knowledge between ourselves, you know what I mean? Because Not a lot of Polish people speaks in English, and basically most of the teachings are basically run in English. So me and a few other people, we're trying to translate everything and then explain it in Polish, let's say, to the others. And during that time, we present the projects which one has been presented by you, Mr. Cash, and by the other seekers, and then that's how we develop basically. And basically this what we see on this picture. This is a development of one guy from Poland, where he decided to put those things around the four coils, which we try to increase, let's say, the plasma flow and increase the generation of the plasmatic fields. So this has been installed in his vehicle on Friday, as far as I am aware. So basically, probably we're gonna get some feedback from him this week on the next Sunday meeting.
If you need to do a
And there is, oh, sorry,
carry
Mr. Cash.
carry on.
There is another beautiful group of people working with the MAGRAPH systems, where they decide to install the MAGRAPH system in the lorries, and we start having quite nice feedback from them in terms of let's say smooth work of the vehicles. And today, because they've been working yesterday and today on one of the lorry, so when they take off one of bits of the installation, they recognize that most of the bits has been fully nano coated. So that means in a very short time we should have a huge impact probably on the vehicle movements. But that we're gonna that's what we're gonna basically confirm when we collect more data, sir.
You mean on the trucks? On the
Yes, on the trucks, yeah, on the 28 tons trucks.
that is a huge saving for the operators. Fuel is their biggest cost. Um, I'm
Well, we've been more concentrated about achieving different fields of the plasma rather than savings, to be honest with you.
Mhm. What is the saving there with the reduction?
So far, we didn't get any significant difference. There is one of the owners of a lorry, because that's the few different things running in the same time. So we've got basically like 4 or 5 different vehicles with the MAGRAPHs, different sets of the MAGRAPH units installed. So basically, a few of them, they've been claiming they received because that's the brand new lorries. So they've got the board computers quite developed on board as well. So they're receiving constantly messages like low performance on the screen, and the lorries are running like never, to be honest with you. And that's gave us a decent signal that something's actually start happening, with the body of the car, or maybe the car is becoming a more plasmatic in terms of magnetical and gravitational fields of the Earth. That's why the computers are going a bit maybe crazy. And the another one is claiming that he start noticing not big savings, but it's like 1 liter per 100 kilometers so far. But he get the MAGRAPH unit installed like 3 or 4 days ago, something like that. I don't want to lie, I don't remember all the things, because we start gathering all the informations, and we tried to collect as much as we could and put that on a foundation site.
Use the Keshe Foundation website. We can give you Vince can give you Poland at keshefoundation.org, sorry, or that you can put your website on.
Oh,
These
thank you very much.
websites, we give you just please send the email to Vince, and we have brought in now Stanley from the education side and Robert from the innovation, and computers have joined forces with Vince and Carlos, that the webmaster group is written to, for very highly competent people in this field. that we can organize these things. So we give you Poland at keshefoundation.org. Put all your things, make your own website on that. And I know in Poland you have competent people who can run this website. And we
Marvelous.
make the facility for you in Polish. You don't need to put anything in English. Or we teach from you if there is something important, translate it and put it there in one language that we can all translate from it. Um, the I think Vince is not there, otherwise we would have given the confirmation. It can be done pretty rapidly. Now we made that facility available. We are increasing the power of the server's background that we can meet more or less every nation's demand. So you can
Thank you
tell
very
your
much.
people that poland.keshefoundation.org is available to you. Build your own website. The blueprint is with. Is Carlos online? Can we see Carlos anywhere? Rick, do you see Carlos?
No, Carlos isn't here.
Hi Vince, good morning.
Hi.
Hi. Vince, can we organize this with with what do you call it, the website access to Polish community speaking around the world?
Yep, you can send an email to webmaster at Keshe Foundation, and then we'll set something up for you for access.
And then they can set up their own website directly from there.
Yeah, it's just a CMS that goes on the back end that you can just enter the information, and it builds it just like our systems that we have for our websites right now too.
So there we are. You got it. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Vince.
that's beautiful. Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe.
You're quite welcome. We are here to not to concentrate knowledge on English. Unfortunately, it's our fault we don't speak other languages. Anything else you can teach? I think what it is because this trucks and lorries has been in the back of my mind, or we've been trying to get something done even in Valletta. When you put these units in the front, if you're using a truck and a trailer, if you're putting one on a truck, put one in the trailer too, in the back end of the trailer, somewhere under the frame. Not necessarily connected to the system, but if we can place it in a way with a plasma battery to be connected and be placed, I think you'll find a very good way to operate, to reduce the weight in the trailer end too. The reduction in these high heavy loads comes because of the trailer end, the back end, more than the front, because the front gets pulled by the truck. So if you can come up with a way to connect your system in together into the trailer end, or is the big truck in the back end, so you need two units for the big trucks, I think you get a much better saving in your system, and you'll see a huge difference in the fuel consumption. Because this systems only creates nano coating and conditional plasma in the truck end, not in a trailer end. So if you ask your Polish friends to look into this and create a two parallel system or a single coil system, even we do, which is connected to the body of the trailer, with the trailers which are permanent, not the ones you drop off and you go to the next destination. Then I think you will find out a huge saving.
Yes, we've got few actually, Mr. Keshe, combinations of the free stackers allocated in a different, areas of the vehicle, taking under considerations the trucks and the small cars, the private cars, and basically what we decide to do apart from allocating, let's say, 2-3 units across the vehicle, we decide to connect to negative of the mag graph. So the entrance of the mag graphs, we decide to connect the spirals, which one are covered by the plastic tubes, and we inject into the tubes gases, basically the CO2 gases. And what we've been able to achieve, we didn't replicate that yet. This is just a one vehicle which one runs in that condition. we've been able to achieve something like the people sitting in a car, they feel when they take a breath, they feel like, you know, they've got a lot of air already in their lungs. You know what I mean? So it seems like they start receiving sort of air energy into their lungs before they take the physical breath. This is what we're trying, you know, to replicate now, and we're trying to replicate that on a few different types of vehicles, where we're gonna be able to create, well, within different environment, this same effect basically.
That's fantastic. Is there anything else we can learn?
When we're gonna collect all the drawings and the pictures, so definitely we're gonna share with everyone. So I'm not trying to go, you know, too far ahead at the moment, because we don't want to mislead nobody in a, you know, in a way, you know what I mean.
Yes, you got a beautiful Cockney accent, but you're Polish and you've been there a few years. I thought you're a English, what do you call it, East Ender, but yes, you got a beautiful accent. Thank you very much. So we give you the background, the support to the Polish Keshe Foundation, people who support there, and come to arrangement that you can run your own website. Speak to or find someone in your group who is good in webmastering and put the latest news on the picture so you can use the system.
They are already watching us, Mr. Keshe.
Yeah, so thank you very much for all your support and your work and in teaching us new things. Any Keshe Foundation China, we put the same facilities to them. Keshe Foundation India, the same. It's india.keshefoundation.org. So these capabilities come that we will go into international multi-language, and at the front there'll be flag of each nation. You can join in which languages you want to, which Keshe Foundation you want to go to. Then you find your languages and your confirmation in a way that you can communicate and learn. There is something interesting. Is there anything you can teach us anymore, or how? Yes, no problem. We've seen, I think you received a link in respect to a gentleman, I don't know who it is, regarding the time on the watch and different kind of electronic watch and different maglev thicknesses. Can you put that up, because we can go with that, it's in public domain. What it is, I know nothing about this. It just came out very early this morning to me through Caroline. I just had a quick look at it. But it's interesting if a lot of you can test this. Let us know if it's correct and how far it's correct, because this breaks a lot of taboo in one of the parts of the space technology. This is very important. Can you read us the title, what it says underneath it, the writing? Then I don't need to talk about it, because that's what the information is.
There's two pictures there, Rick. I think you might need to go to the first one.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it says, let me get this live stream. At the start of the test with a synchronized chronograph. So he did this person did a test with their watches all preset here, and then the second one is, this is the status after 2 weeks, and we see there's a 2 second and 4 second difference between the central watches there. And
how does he explain it?
8 or 12 second difference. Well, he had them in different. I have to go back probably to the original post. I'm not sure. I don't think it's right here. Here we go. Was there? Okay. It's from Jeffrey Russell. It says the time results. Sorry, it's the test results of time distortion after 2 weeks. Unit C was placed between the wasp nests. Unit A was placed near the nanotube array. Unit B was placed directly over a working maggrav unit with an average current of about 1.5 amps. The weakest plasma is from the wasp nest. It is only 1 second behind. The next strongest plasma is from the nanotubes, about 3 seconds behind. The strongest plasma is from the maggrav unit. It is 5 seconds behind. The results indicate clearly that the plasma field is slowing time in direct relation to the strength of the field. I will increase the load now on the maggrav unit to about 5 amps. If the field is stronger, we should see a more pronounced slowdown in the chronograph. And then that's the two pictures that he showed from before.
Does this bring to a lot of things in the world of science about the time and the speed? That when we work in a stronger field, time stops. Try this. A lot of you who have the maggrav system, doesn't cost much, and put it back on the testimonial on the Keshe Foundation.
Isn't that what gets talked about now, is this time reversal concept, which is like doing the reversal of DNA in a way. It's like going back in time to its original source or roots.
It cannot reverse. All it says, if it is correct, if this is, and a lot of you can test, it doesn't cost you much. You have the maggrav system.
Remember the time now, according to the theory of relativity, the faster you go, the slower time goes. Now, we didn't increase any distance or any kind of speed with these watches, so it definitely might indicate something.
Yeah, it is. It looks like strength of, as we go to higher strength, then the time comes to, that's what we said, time does not exist in the space at a high speed, high strength. So it's good to see if it's just coincidental or we can add to this knowledge, because this is it's a new insight into the world of space travel. As you said,
Also, would it not connect in with what we're going to see on Thursday with the growth of potatoes and so on? It's just as a
yes,
teaser for people. So it seems like the same concept, that if time gets slowed down, in effect, that'll change the growth of certain things and so on.
let me explain something when Ricky speaks about potatoes. As I said before in the teachings, private teachings, now that we are in a point that a lot of people get thoughts on both sides, theoretical inside the private and in the public teachings, they see other things and therefore well educated. The students are coming up with their systems. We allow the knowledge seekers to show what they are doing beside what we are teaching. So we are learning from them or the experiments they are doing. So when we open the doors of the foundation into donation teaching only from 1st of March, um, we expect to see a lot of knowledge seekers as the students to share knowledge with us in the classrooms. And time to time we allow those to come into the teachings, because now it's becoming literally public teaching. And then in time we build up to open teaching 24 hours a day around the world. But what Rick just spoke about is a test which is done by one of the knowledge seekers in the first year, but he's done it before last year, before he joins the teaching. And he has shown us how he done a track test in Kenya with potatoes and what the outcome has been. We have the same from around the world. If you've done any tests on agriculture or on the decontamination, please bring it on the table on Thursday, because I did the first public teaching on the blueprint with the maggrav systems on my own. Now you come halfway, and in the second blueprint with the health, you show the systems you've developed and what you see with it and what's done there. We try to bring the third blueprint day into the operation through most of what you are testing, that your work becomes a blueprint. that others can follow and can do. Anything else, Rick? Hello? Carry on. Yeah. God. Yeah, let's see. Let's explain.
Microphone. Sorry, I didn't have the microphone on in live stream there. Sure. So let's go to Angelo Dahl if he's available there. Angelo, I know you wanted to show there. I'll unmute you. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Angelo. I'm from Romania, and I do a lot of things. If you may see this, if you can see this, and I did today a star formation with 4 MAGRAV units, basically the normal electrical units. And if you allowed me, I will share the screen or I will start the video, and I will ask Mr. Keshe about how to connect them, because I'm not sure.
So you want to start your video? Is that correct? Or
Yes, if
okay,
it
go
is
ahead. You
possible.
should be able to do that now.
Okay, I try. You can start your video because the host has stopped it.
Okay.
You have to ask him to start his video, Rick.
Yeah, I already tried that and it didn't. It only has forbid record. It doesn't, or I mean, it doesn't. Okay, maybe it's the other way. I'm sorry. Let me do it the other way. Okay, there we go. I have to do it twice. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hello. I
Hi.
will go to the. I will go in the room to share it. So I don't know if you can see. This
Yep.
is the one unit up in the ceiling, and I have 3. This is 1 unit on the base. This is the 2nd unit on the base, and this is the 3rd unit on the base. These are all plugged in now into the grid. But my question is, how should I connect them in series or in parallel, or I have
Sorry about that.
to.
I lost your picture. I could not see anything. I heard your voice. Can you go back again, please?
I don't know. Now you can see.
You have a picture?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you have one on the floor there. Are you trying to get your house flying or something?
Why not? I have 3 on the floor. This is 1. This is the other one, and here are the 3rd one on the floor.
And one hanging on the ceiling from your light.
Exactly. these are all units made by me.
Yeah, yeah, it's fantastic. Very simple but effective. Okay, I think we're going to bring. Is Ali about? Is he available? Ali, are you there? No, he's not there. What you got to do? You got to decide which one is with your starting point. Then you have to connect your one where the starting point is for you from magnetical to align with the gravitational of the next one, and then your magnetical from the top should feed into the common line between the three in the base, that they can take what they need. Look at the teachings of Thursday. Hopefully Ali with his team will be there to show you what we have created over in the knowledge that they have built the physical one. I see there are a lot of activities going on in the background. This kind of system, when you have them loose, not connected, you should pinpoint and look at the exact position, because they move. These things, if you look at them closely, sometimes vibrate, because then you cannot hold on to the plasmatic field forces to achieve what you want to do. But this, what you created, where you're sitting in the middle, should be the place where, excuse me, please do not put mobile numbers on the phone. Can you, Koso, I have to ask you to stop this behavior. Your telephone numbers, emails should not go on the Keshe Foundation. Yes, please. This is what we ask you for. If you're asking for people to bother you, please do. But we ask you, do not share telephone. You want to communicate, communicate in the background with each other. On the other hand, what you do, what you set up there, it's a beautiful system.
Thank you.
To sit in the middle and use it for health and feeding application. This will not give you anything more. You will not get your house flying, because these systems just move. These systems just move. Can you remove the telephone numbers and emails which are on the website? We block people who put these things on. I tell you why. It's for your own safety. And you do that communication.
I don't believe it can be removed actually. Once it's in the chat, it's there, as far as I know. Unless we can remove the whole chat, perhaps. Vince would
Maybe
have
he
to.
can remove it himself. You have to stop this, because this is a problem you start for yourself. Sorry about this. I do apologize, but we see things you don't see in writing going on in the background,
Yeah,
and this is not good
there's.
for themselves.
I'd just like
Pardon?
to state there's too much chat going on. People have to realize that they're going out to 100, distracting the attention of 150 people when they chat in the chat. You're not talking to just one or two other people. So it's good to not be too chatty, because we're trying to listen to Mr. Keshe, not pay attention to the chat.
Because
It's
we
hard to do
monitor
both at
things, we
once.
watch what's happening. It's just is not correct, and this is getting very, very out of hand with Kosovo. This has to stop. This is a teaching site, and you have your chance to teach. We allow you, but it's for your own safety.
Yeah, sometimes they don't know that they're putting out to everyone, which is because they don't see that there's 150 people in the chat. They think
We have
there's only
166 on one line. I see it.
right.
Uh,
So
so
now they know.
yeah,
Thank you,
they
Mr.
know.
Keshe.
Mr. Keshe, I have
So
a
what it is, you can sit inside. Let me finish this. Sorry about
yes,
this.
yes.
You can sit in between this, and you can use it for all sorts of application. Feeding yourself. You can use these things for health application. You can use one. I'm about, once we settle, hopefully where we sit, whatever. We build a room in this way, where you can actually go and sit in the room. We've seen it for all sorts of migraine, for eyesight, and all sorts. These units are good for this application. When you have them loose, you cannot create any what do you call it, flight or whatever with them. These things are good for nano coating the whole structure without connecting to the uh, uh, what do you call, you can, let me tell you, this has to stop because I see things. People who put the telephone number realize these are all trolls. The people who give them the telephone number, a lot of them, or emails on the Keshe Foundation website, these are trolls you contact. They mess up your computer. Don't see them just because here we don't vet people who are on the lines. The people who give their numbers and telephone numbers and emails or contact you, they've spoken to you. These are the people that you find out you have no computer tomorrow, or they find all your private things. This is part of the red circle work, which is infiltrating, and it's you who are the losers. It's the last time we inform you of this. Do not put your emails, your telephone numbers, or whatever, or somebody contacts you, finds you, and then they come and, what do you call it? They come and destroy or threaten you and your family. You are giving them feeling it's your problem. But we warn you for the last time, and we block from now on. Anybody puts a telephone number or email address or whatever, we just ban you. You can go into the other rooms or go on the YouTube, because your safety is more important to us than you not knowing what you're doing to yourself, or you're a troll, you're trying to get people to call you to damage. So what you use this is you can sit in these environments to do all sorts of things. But you have to watch out how you made your nano coating and what guns you used. It's very important.
Yes.
Just because you have it there, you can use these for, in a way, to nano coat the system in the house, that then it becomes a wireless application. If you run this in the four corners or in a way that you cover the whole atmosphere of the house in one way or another, the way you've done, if you let it run when you connected it for a while, you will see you don't need to do anything. Your systems will come on their own. It's the beginning of the wireless application of the power. We've seen this, and it's been shown by what do you call it, Ali in Canada. So you got to understand what you're doing, uh, and how you are uh, you set things up, how you put things in. Then you find out your television, your audio system, and things can come on even with you thinking about them. And you say, well, so there's a problem. We've seen this before. And people are walking into this condition. In so many points, you have to understand that when you connect these things, how you connect them, and how you apply them, what power you put through them, or you what do you call it, connect them to a plasma battery, or you connect them to the main current voltage, and then you see what you can do. The connection you can decide, and you can add another stack on top, but it will be interesting when you do these things. What do you call it, go outside and have a look at night, see what you see. If the fields go beyond the boundary of your house, if you see indentation in the fields, you see in some places bright, some not, and go in the wall of the house and see if there's a cable passing, if there's a water flowing, that it reduces the, if you see a bigger, let's say, expansion of the plasma outside the house, look what is in that position. So we had reports, people see all sorts of lights across people's home which are using these systems and all sorts. The way you done it, you have to connect in a way, each system its own power supply. You can do it plasma power supply, and you can feed all the gravitational from the base in one center, or you can connect one to the other, or you can set a combination of the two. But if you connect all the centers gravitationals together like a Y formation, or you can do the one which is on the base delta formation, and you Keshe Foundation in the coming time will teach you more and more of the formations which are doing in the research centers, and we learn from others. But these kind of open span you do, which you are walking across it, and when you connect it, you're just part of the room you sit in. You gotta consider, like, if you used to get a flu or you were cold all the time, if you feel any cold anymore in the house, because your plasma of your body takes from the plasma of the environment you've created to keep you warm. These are the things which we will see in the coming time. People say it's a kind of heating you're using, but according to your thoughts.
Yes,
So
I observed this because until today I have just 2 units connected, and it's obvious the heat and the feeling. No, it's
it's
not a
different.
problem. It's obvious.
What is it different, or what is it? Explain to us.
Uh, I feel very calm in this room with just 2 units until today, and I feel the heat. And when I stay between the two, also my cat, I have a cat. She's also staying always between the two. She sleeps there, and it is a, I don't know, it's a very good, warm, calm, peaceful feeling. This is with 2. With 4, I will I will talk about it maybe next week because just I put them just now into the grid.
It's just, let's see what happens and let us understand more, and we see what we can do.
Also, this was my intention to make this 4 to try if maybe it will a kind of a tent of positive energy of a plasma flow that can heal or that can peace us. Or
Uh,
also my other intention was with this 4 maybe I can connect to the other of the planet to communicate with them with our intentions or to feed them with our good peaceful intentions. I don't know which of them will be the real one. I really don't know.
we'll see what happens, because a lot of people are building this, a lot of people are bringing these into operation, and we'll see where we can go and how we can go with it. But it's nice to see what you built. And it's nice to see people are getting involved in doing it, and we'll see the changes. But it'll be interesting to see in time if you can, like we've seen with Ali, switch your television on. We've seen it with Alex. You just don't need to have a connection to the wall anymore, and you can turn on your systems. And this is where we are going and heading for.
Yes, I hope so. Also, I do some plasma batteries, and now I'm working on a set of plasma batteries with GANs from multivitamins, multiminerals, and some plants. I make the GANs. It's not enough now, but I hopefully next week will be enough. And I try to make these plasma batteries with these specific GANs and feed with these batteries the whole system. Because another intention of me is this to heal, to make a environment, a tent of healing and maybe feeding. I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much for bringing that up. First of all, be wise in what you put in your GANs and how you put it. Secondly, you brought a subject which I wanted to speak about as part of we've been doing in the past few weeks, about feeding to the plasma technology. I'll try to cover this in the back end of the teachings today, that we go through what people have to say, and then we'll make a very important announcement, and we'll go through some things which is important in light of what we've discussed before. But in respect to feeding, in so many ways, what you have shown and what we see and what you suggested is part of the teaching which is coming later on today for what we're about to do. If there is there any more things? Thank you very much. If you want, and there is something very interesting, I'm going to ask you a moral question. Have you taught any of this to anybody else that they can benefit by your knowledge?
Yes, I am a part of the Romanian Keshe Foundation, and on our Facebook posts. I post everything I do, and
Do
they
you have
see.
a Romania at keshefoundation.org? Go back, ask whoever is part of your Romanian group, because
Yeah.
we know you're very active. Ask for romania.keshefoundation.org to be given to you. That you can run your website on the Keshe Foundation server, that the others come and find you. You can do all the development, everything on one house. That we can see it and we can share it, and anybody comes in speaks the beautiful language of Romanian. They can do it if they don't understand English or any other language, that they can help them to build this system.
Yes, I understand.
Just write to the
Also,
webmaster, speak to your group, and build romania@keshefoundation.org. This
okay,
way, we after end of this month, we closed all the Keshe Foundation thought groups around the world. The Keshe Foundation is in the position to close everything, that everything comes under one roof. And we close those Keshe Foundations which is under our control, and the rest will take legal action to close them. All the thought groups, all the people who discuss to do with Keshe Foundation to come under one roof. The number of people who have opened different ways of testimonial. We give links to your testimonial group, whatever you set up, directly from the Keshe Foundation, so everything comes in one go.
I understand. May I show two drawings I made about the connection in this case with these four into the grid, and after then I understand I will put the plasma batteries. I will try with them, but to the grid I did not understand very well what are you saying. But I have here two drawings, and maybe it's easier for you to.
Okay, if you bring it up, I'll bring you the expert in this. Wernie, are you in the background? Hello, Wernie. Rick, do you see Wernie from Philippines on the innovation team?
Just see Renan there.
Okay, bring it up. Let's see. Let's see what it is.
I make them. So this is one of my talks connecting in series. I don't know if you can see this.
That's how it should be, but you have to put what you call a load across your grid. You need a plasma set across your grid to safeguard your system. Where you have your grid at the bottom, you connect to. Before your coil, you need to put we put a 4 plasma. Philippines does industrial commercial unit plasma in parallel with the grid. Across the line, you need that. You connect it to the live line, that you protect your system on the conversion. You need that.
You talk about capacitors, are?
Yes, yes. And a new way you can do it, you can use a combination of capacitor, battery units.
Yes, I know.
You
But
can put that across there as well.
all the 4
Yeah.
units have these 4 capacitors in parallel with the grid. I build
Yes.
them in this way.
Yeah, you have to do it.
So this is version number 1
Mm-hmm.
in series, or I have another version in parallel with the grid.
You can do both. There is no harm. You can try both of them. Depends what you want and how you want to get out of it. One of these stacker unit, if you put them in series with each other, is good for the next step power boost. If you put power with the system, it's something we tested. I can't remember the exact results, but it gives you the stability in your current.
Have I put loads on them or not?
You can use one stacker to become load of the next one or the
Exactly.
previous one.
Yes.
So we
Mr. Keshe.
who's that?
Hello,
Who's speaking? Hello.
it's Alex. Alex from Nigeria.
Hello, Alex,
Hello.
Nigeria. Hello,
I just,
Uncle
I'm,
Alex.
I just wanted to add to the configuration I saw there.
Yes.
Okay, the connection. I think I've found out some better connection for the grid. If you
Yeah.
take the neutral that goes to the wall straight to the positive of the load, and then you put a load. You put a load in the grid. It's going to bring the consumption to about 90% or more. In the
Can you
first
explain that?
one.
Can you explain that again, please?
All right. If when you're connecting to the grid, when you loading the system, instead of loading from the positive and negative of the MAGRAPH system, you connect the what do you call it, the neutral. You use the neutral as the positive instead of leaving the neutral out. You connect the neutral straight to the positive of your load. Did you get that?
What do you do with the
And that
positive
gives
of
you
your?
at least
What do you do?
100%, 90% in the first 1 hour.
What do you do with the positive of the coil then?
You don't do nothing with it. You just leave the positive. Just connect take the power from take the connection from the neutral. Take it straight to the positive. You leave the positive empty, like we used to leave the neutral empty. Now the neutral goes straight to the positive, and then
Alex,
you leave the
Alex,
negative.
Alex, Alex, Alex.
Yes, Mr. K.
Let's go back onto it. Let's go back onto it. You have the stacker, and
Yeah.
then you have the magnetical which comes out, which connects to your positive. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe we need a diagram here to be able to
Yeah,
see
he's in
properly.
Nigeria. I don't think he has that access. Let's see.
Can you
Let's see.
can
Let me. Somebody ask if I can draw. Can I share the screen, please, if you don't mind?
yeah, you should be able to there now.
I share. We are in the afternoon session. Can I go? Can you see this? Am I sharing or not?
We see your
Yeah, I can see it.
Zoom. No, we see the Zoom desktop rather than the.
Do you see the white
No, we don't
screen?
see the whiteboard. We're seeing
Okay, I got to
the other
use the other
screen.
one. Okay, wait. We use this one. Share. Do you see the
There you
white
go.
screen now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Perfect.
So you're
I can
looking at
see
it,
that.
Alex. You can see it. Okay, Alex, let's go through it together, because this is a major development. If you are
Yeah.
telling us the way to do it,
Yeah.
we have to follow it. Okay, this is the stacker. This side is our
All right.
grid. We connect to the grid. We have the stacker, and on the top we have the magnetical, yeah, which is our positive.
Okay.
And then we have what we do with this side of the grid, what we done up to now, we connect this and we bring it out and we connect to the negative, correct? The normal system has a third line, which is a neutral. Yes, Alex? Alex. 1, 2, and 3. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
He just dropped out for a moment.
Yeah. No.
Okay, so we have 1 which is magnetical. We have 2 which is the earth, or we call earth of the system, which we usually don't connect it anywhere in the box. And then we have the 3 which is the negative, which comes from the
I
neutral.
just came.
Which one do you want us to
Okay.
connect where?
The
If he's able to hear us, he should be able to annotate on that as well and draw.
I don't think he's had the backup. Okay, he has the connect. Can you use annotate and do it, Alex? I think what he's trying to tell us is to connect this there. I know he's done this
Mr.
before.
Keshe,
Yes. Do you want us to use the green line?
Mr. Keshe,
Yes, Alex, you are cutting out.
Mr. Keshe,
Yes.
instead of the negative, instead of the positive, you use the earth. Okay. Hello.
What do we do with the magnetical then?
Hello.
Yes, what do you do with the magnetical then?
You don't do nothing. You just leave it alone. You don't do nothing. That is the load I'm talking about. The load, you just connect the negative and the earth as the load. When you do that and then you put a load on it, your consumption is going to reduce in the first hour. It's going to reduce by at least 90%.
Okay, this is the load end, yeah? You want the load to be connected to positive and negative?
Yeah.
Why are we connecting the coil then? What's the purpose of connecting to the coil? We can do it directly from positive to negative.
No, you connect it to the coil because the coil goes to the grid, and then it's the load that you're just going to take the negative from the coil and then the neutral from the grid to power the system as a load.
Wait. I don't understand it. I'm sure a lot of you understand it. I'm totally blind into what you're talking about. On a system, we have three wires. We have a live wire on the grid. We have a neutral and we have a earth. Yeah, the three lines.
Okay.
So
okay.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna redo this. Then not. This is your box. This is your stacker unit.
My connection is
You have a live. You have a earth, and then you have a neutral. Okay. On our systems, we connect live to the box. We take the earth and we block it, and we take the neutral. I'm gonna go on green. We take neutral, and the neutral we put directly out into the box, into the load end. We connect the live into the stacker, and we put the three stackers on, and then we take a connection from the stacker out, and we use this as positive, we use this as negative. Okay?
Okay, that's what.
What are you suggesting to do now?
Instead of using the live wire.
Okay, wait. Let's do it another way that you are very clear in what we've done, and then we can use your knowledge. This is number one. This is number two. This is number three. This is the 0.4. This is a 0.5. Okay? So what you're telling us, you want us to connect, if I'm correct, I can take it here and show it.
Number 2 and 3.
You want me to connect number 2 to 0.4 and
exactly,
and disconnect this line here.
Yeah.
Just leave it on so.
Disconnect the live. Hello.
Yes, I'm listening. So you say this gives us a 90% reduction within the first
hour, and then after a couple of hours, it's 0. And then if you add more loads to the, couple of loads to the load, if you add more units to the load, it's gonna actually go. I don't know if there's anything lower than 0, but I mean it's automatic.
Okay, so all we need to do with the maggrav units is just to put the live through it, and then just leave it open. Don't connect anything. Just connect the live to neutral to negative, and connect the earth to positive.
Exactly.
You know what I'm going
And
to
then
do?
you put a load there.
You put the load across here, yes?
And you put, yeah, you put a load. Because if you don't put a load, it's well, it works, but I mean, it won't work as fast as if you put a load.
What do you want to load at? So where is the rest of the house is going to?
But you already connected to the grid. It's feeding back from the grid. Because what I did was, when I put a load there, when I put on the kettle in the house, the load was reading about maybe 3 or 4 watts, and then when I put the kettle on, the load was reading 0, which means when it demands, I created demand for it, it brings more than enough for what
So let us be correct. So our unit is limited to 1.5 kilowatt. So if we put, let's say, the load, does it have to be resistive or conductive?
no, conductive, not resistive.
But like heater,
That's what
just
I
LED
use
light,
mobile phone, LED and mobile phone lights. That's what I use.
that kind of thing. So you put a LED light here or mobile phone, and
Yeah,
this
but
you connect this to the grid, to the plug in the house, yeah?
yeah, you connect that to the plug in the house.
And, so whatever is behind it is gonna read 0.
Exactly.
I'm gonna try it. I've got 2 units here,
And
3 units.
this is something I've done, Mr. Kesh. I've done it.
Okay,
That's
no,
why I've
I
been
understand.
trying.
I remember you doing this when you were with me in Valletta, but I never understood because you always connected the purple to the positive. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
You understand? Now I understand because
Yeah.
you were trying to, you showed this to me, and I think Marco in the lab or somebody is Armin. I think it was Armin, you
Yes,
and me or
Amon.
Benjamin. Yeah. I could not see any of you who's got this MagRaf system. Can you test it now? It's very simple. You still plug your system to the plug, disconnect your MagRaf system, do not connect it to anywhere, your magnetical, and connect your earth to the positive. And please don't blow your houses up. You're doing it on your responsibility. Tell us what you see on your meter. Does your meter come to 0? And if it is, that's a better system than what we're trying to.
Yeah, but Mr. Kesh, another thing I want to add.
Yes. Hello. Yes. I think they got him.
Another thing I want to add.
Yeah.
Okay, at the end of the coil, the stacker unit, instead of leaving it blank, you make it into a plasma battery capacitor. You make an extension.
Yeah, to a plasma battery capacitor.
Yeah, you extend the wire instead of leaving it, burning it onto itself. You extend it into a plasma battery capacitor. So that is where you connect. That is where you connect the thing from. But without that, it still works because I've tried it both ways.
So what do we do with the end of the capacitor now?
Yeah, you just connect. Yeah, you just connect the you're taking it from the live. You don't really use the live. You use the neutral. I put the gravitational battery capacitor on the neutral and feed it back on itself. You have to feed back on itself.
No. Oh, stop. You made it complicated. The magnetical are connected to a battery capacitor, yeah?
Not connected. You make the line into a battery capacitor itself. Not connect nothing. You
This
just extend the line and the end of it.
How do you make this to a battery capacitor? Just to make it at the center, at the gravitational line.
Yeah, but if you extend that wire and then at the end of it, you just put a battery capacitor on it. It's the same thing as attaching a new one to it.
Yeah, and then where do you connect this capacitor to?
You get the current from the negative is on the one that has the aluminum thing, and then the positive the other side. You connect it. You can get your load from there.
Yes, but where do you connect the other end of this creature? The one where I put the X, where do I connect this? Where do I connect Z now?
Where you connect, well, it depends on if this one, if this is the gravitational field, you put the negative there, just put the negative there, and then you let the Earth, you take the positive from the Earth. You get
What
it?
do I do with the neutral here then?
The neutral, you don't do nothing, you just leave the neutral.
Well, don't connect it?
No, it's complete. I'm being confused now. I'll start it afresh. You see, the line that comes, the gravitational line that comes from the stacker, instead of bending it backwards on itself, you make it into a battery capacitor.
Stop.
And then you take.
Stop, Alex. Alex, stop. You're discussing something fairly important. Let's take time on it. This is here the gravitational of the stacker, yeah? Feeding
Okay.
up to the first stacker. So we feed it there and it goes up, and you use the line to be the center line for a capacitor battery. And then from the capacitor battery, you get a negative. Okay? What do we do with the neutral or the earth which we have brought here then?
Yeah, but that the Earth goes to the positive, straight to the positive of the.
So what do we
load.
do with this chap? What do we do with this Mr. Blue here?
It don't nothing. You just leave it alone. You block it up.
So in the box we just leave it neutral. Okay, guys who are testing this, can you test this configuration too as well? See which one. If it is and it works, are we feeding back through the whole system? Renan, is Vernie online? Can you get hold of Vernie anywhere? Or anybody else in your team that they can test this while we are online?
But the you know, Mr. Keshe, the plasma.
Try to contact.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Alex, carry on.
The plasma capacitor you made, it should feed back to the central line.
Which central line?
Central line of the gravitational coil, the one that the red one, you just marked there. The negative of the battery capacitor should feed back to the central line.
To where to feed to where? To here.
You just connect. Sorry, you just connect from the body. It's either you use the capacitor, or if it's a gravitational coil you're making, it has to be fed back through the negative of the battery capacitor back to the central line. You just attach a cord to the negative, to the lower part, back to itself, back to the red line.
But do we still keep this here operating?
What is up where?
Okay, listen, Alex John. If we get this here connected negative, and we feed it back to the stacker, the negative of the stacker, it's become a closed loop feed.
No, not feedback that way, Mr. Keshe. You just attach from. You see the battery capacitor you made, the one that has a red line in between.
Yeah.
At the top.
Here.
You just attach a cord to the bottom of the battery capacitor and link it back to the central line. That's all. That is the feedback.
What central line? You mean to the earth?
Not to the earth. The central along this line, the same gravitational line that you put the battery capacitor on. You just attach the a cord to the battery capacitor.
You mean you want me to do? Hold on, hold on. Stop. You want me to get the battery capacitor and connect it here at the end?
You know, you don't get it. It's already there. The capacitor, the battery capacitor is already there.
Yes.
Now you just link a wire from the negative of the battery capacitor back to the central line that comes from the maggraph system, the extension.
To this one here.
Exactly, exactly.
You're feeding
Just
back the
from the back,
capacitor
yeah,
back
exactly. Just
into
from the
the
battery
central
capacitor.
line. What about
Exactly.
if we, yeah, but instead of feeding it here, what happened if we feed it here to the base of it?
Well, I've not tried that. I've not tried that, but I've tried this one, and then I just connected. I connected the negative on the battery capacitor, and then I took the positive from the earth, straight from the earth. And I'll tell you, here we have a lot of low current, but when you do this, I think it stabilizes the current as well. It makes it more than what it's bringing out.
Yeah, because
Really.
it makes sense. Okay, Alex, I'm gonna do it this way. Just stay online. I'm gonna get rid of all this mess. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of all this mess. So we do it this way. Grid. Yeah. You have 3 lines. You have the live. You have, oh, I should do it the other way. Doesn't matter. You have the Earth, and then you have the neutral. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to change this that it makes sense better. Let me do it this way because then we go different way. So what I'm going to do, we make this one live. Pen. Because then this goes on a blueprint in Mongo. So, and this one here is your neutral. And this is your grid. Yeah? This is your plug.
Yeah.
This one is, okay, I need this here. This one is your box. You bring your earth into the, sorry, I'm gonna undo. This, your grid, comes in. Hey boy, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's the edge. Take the edge.
Okay, no, this earth comes and it goes directly to positive.
Exactly.
Okay. The neutral comes directly and
the
goes
negative.
to negative. This is negative. Okay, this is your positive. Here, you connect your stacker, your live, to the bottom of the stacker. This is your stacker, 1, 2, 3, where you feed to it. You take the neutral, sorry, the magnetical out. You build a battery, what we call a battery capacitor. You connect the battery capacitor back to itself here, and then you connect here your load.
Yeah.
Okay. The load can be LED or anything, a watch or whatever. In this process,
yeah, a mobile phone and
whatever, we can put a very small LED light corner of the house. So with this process, what we achieve, we are feeding back into the grid, back into the from the magnetical, and what we are using is totally just earth and neutral.
Yeah, and the signals. You're using the signals from the stackers and then the earth. That is what you're using, and that's all. So, and then if you
is this a connection you want? Is it correct?
Yes, it's correct. Okay. But now I can't see the screen now because it's gone off. But I mean, it's from the explanation I hear, it's correct.
You can't. Oh, are you a blind man?
No, it's not that. I'm okay. Yeah, I got it. I got it back. Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. It's correct.
It's correct.
But,
Do
Mr.
we?
Keshe,
Okay, wait. I want to clarify something. Here we connect this to the second one, the pink line. Yeah, am I correct? Hello, Alex. Alex, can you hear us, or is it me cut off? Rick, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Mr.
You
Keshe.
can hear us. So we lost Alex. It's just the pink if it comes back on. So what does this do? It feeds back through the, it releases the plasma to feed back into the grid.
I just came back online. I got cut off.
Is the pink? If you look here, I put a pink here.
I don't know where you were the last time.
Oh, you can hear you. No problem.
Hello.
Hello. Do we need to connect the
Hello,
pink
Mr. Keshe.
from the, do we need to connect the pink, the battery, the second on the battery side to the second of the
Now I'm
capacitor?
back. Now I'm back.
Alex, do we need to connect in the pink line from the second of the battery to the second of the capacitor? Hello.
He dropped out again.
We wait till he comes back up. Vince, this is what I tell you. We need to get direct satellite link into Africa for us with the units they carry with them. We need it for all the African education side. We shouldn't have this. Hello, Alex, are you there? Hello, Alex.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. I'm back now.
Back now.
Hello?
Okay. Do we
Yeah.
need to do this? Do we need to do this pink connection in the?
I keep going off. Well, if you want to use the capacitor, you can. I mean, it's going to enhance it as well. But with or without the capacitor, it works.
Okay, no problem. So is this the final drawing you want for a blueprint?
Hello? Okay. Yeah. This is the final one. Let me see it properly. The Earth is going. Yeah. The life goes nowhere. You don't connect the life. It's just the negative and the neutral and the Earth. Yeah, it's
You
all right.
did
It's
this
fine,
the
Mr. Keshe.
first time you were in Barletta and I couldn't understand. And you still, you need the connection of the earth with this, grid with this. So that's why your system is working, especially when you put it with a bead before it. Bernie is online. Brennan, can you get this tested by Thursday? Report back to us.
Yeah, this is, and then you have to add more. Don't add just. And Renan, if you have a problem, you call me so I can put you through now.
Okay. Is that okay, Renan, with you? Get in touch with Alex and just test this tomorrow. If it is, and it gives us a 90% reduction, but you're still depending on the grid supply. You haven't made a generator.
Yes.
Yeah, but for those who, till they set up the generator, which we discussed last week, if this works, let us know by Thursday and then we go to the next step.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you very much, Alex. It's fantastic. I've seen you doing it. I've seen you doing it. It's the first time I managed to understand it. But we got to become independent of the grid. That's the biggest problem.
If
And
I
this
may, Mr. Keshe, this is
who's
John from Canada.
is who?
John from Canada. I do your tech support.
Yes.
In many places, particularly in Canada and the US, the Earth and the neutral are the same lead. There, we don't have an Earth ground anymore. So be very, very careful when you're setting up your systems that ensure you have a proper Earth ground.
Can we create we can create the Earth ourselves in the box?
If I understand the way Alex was describing this, what you would have to do would be to take a large piece of rebar and pound it into your yard about 6 or 8 feet deep and use that as your earth ground.
Thank you very much for the knowledge. In most of the European countries, we have 3.
Oh, there's and even in Canada, we still have 3 in our plugs, but the earth and the neutral go to the same wire. There's no actual earth ground anymore. Open up your box, Rick, and have a look, and you'll notice the white lead coming from the pole goes right to the case of the box. They're wiring it all totally different now.
So what do you do in Canada? So what about, is it in the state you have 2 phases? What do you do with the 2 phases then?
Well, there's still a neutral. There's still a neutral coming in. You've got 3 wires. You got 2 hots in it and a neutral. But what I'm saying is the neutral, the center tap from the transformer on the pole, goes to the case of your breaker box.
So your neutral is actually Earth.
Well, no, they've eliminated the Earth, and they've made the neutral a ground.
Yeah. So correct me. I'm just adding. This is for the Canadians. Let me add to this. We see where we are. To the yellow one is. Oh, I've got to choose on the color that we go pinkish. So with the Canadian, you have 3 wires, but these 2, you have live 1 and live 2 and a neutral, which your neutral and Earth is exactly the same. So you have 2 live wires.
Well, no, it depends on your system. You could have 2-phase, you could have 3-phase. But the neutral, what is considered neutral, in our wiring, it would be the white wire, and the Earth ground, which used to be the green wire in all our systems, they are the same potential. They're the same wire, essentially.
So you have only 1 live and the other 2 are the same.
Yes.
So what do we do in this case? How do we connect it?
You would have to generate your own Earth ground. If the older folks...
So there are 2 Earth. So there are 2 Earth. How do you get the 2 Earth? You're using Earth potential difference.
Yes. Older folks, particularly folks who grew up on the prairies where they had lightning rods on the roof of their house, they would remember out in the yard next to the house, there'd be a copper or a steel rod that's been pounded into the ground. That's what you would need to do to generate a proper earth ground.
And how far do we need to go down?
About 4 to 6 feet, 2 meters.
And then we connect the what they call the brown line to the positive and neutral, and we still do the live to the grid the way it's shown.
That would be because the only difference would occur here in you would have to actually split your earth and your neutral in your home system, and make sure that the green wire isn't the same as the white wire in your plugs.
Not in the Canadian green and white, not what we have here.
North American, yeah, it's pretty much the same in the States as well.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Is there any other addition from anywhere part of the world we have to understand? In the Belgium systems, we have only 2 points.
Yeah, there's many different that are out there that are being used, and they're changing all the time, it seems.
Yeah.
It keeps the technical support team on their toes. Thanks, John. and
Oh yes, we have significant issues with different wiring throughout the planet, and we need some help with that. If anybody understands the Belgian system, we need to discuss a few issues with that. So please get a hold of me at tech support, and let me ask some questions about it.
I
Yeah, we
have a
just had
woman who's
another.
singing in my ear. Come on, Caroline, explain. Hold on. She's the electrician of the house. Hold on 1 second. She's Belgium.
Hello, good evening, everybody. You can hear me?
Can you speak up? You're a little bit quiet.
Okay, can you hear me better?
Yes.
Yes. In Belgium, by law, we have a tree block. It has to be in the earth because it's by law, you cannot have it without it anymore. So all the houses which have the tree blocks automatically go in the ground. It's only the old houses which they have not modified to the new system, which might be hicking up that they don't have it. But all the new buildings, all the new houses, anybody in Belgium will confirm, by law they have to have it because there's 3 points. Even when you use triphasy, even in Italy, I noticed, but there is a different problem because they do not always keep to their word that they are earthing it. In our house in Italy, we found the earthing, but not all the time it's done. So there is a difference between the old houses and the more, let's say, in the last 20, 30 years built, they're all in order for the systems to be earthed. Because there is a law that says when there is a lightning coming onto the house or in or from whatever angle it comes, you have to be safe that when you hold something, it has to go through. So Germany is usually the same. Holland is the same. England is also the same. So further on countries, I don't know.
Yeah, the point I think here is don't assume that your earth and your neutral are separate leads. Check them and make sure that you actually have an earth ground and your neutral is not earth potential.
By law, they should, but I think you're very correct to emphasize that people open the box and check it for themselves.
Yeah, when you do if you open your breaker box, be very careful. There's enough power in there to blow you across the room. So keep one hand in your pocket and just look. Please.
Thank you very much. Okay, we keep this as we save it at Blueprint. Anything else we can add to the knowledge?
Mr. Keshe?
Yes.
Is Dan from Kiev?
Is who?
Dan from Kiev.
Yes.
One question. Is there some benefits when we have three-phase in our houses? If we can use a three-phase system to have some extra power or not?
Don't understand.
If we can have some benefits with power system, if we have three-phase enter in the house.
What do you mean by benefits?
So some houses have only one phase from power station, and when we have a total three phase from power station, if we have, for example, three MAGRAF system for every phase.
We saw that with Richard from German Manufacturing showing us that last week. Is Richard online? He can explain to you.
Thank you.
Richard? Are you still alive? He's not there. We asked the question, if you remember, on Thursday, if he's here to answer us. Or he can answer us, then we put it on next week. But it's the same, you get the reduction on all three phases. So depends how your system is balanced or is being connected. We know that from other tests. Thank you very much. Anything else? Anybody else can add any more to the knowledge?
Mr. Keshe, this is Francois from Quebec.
Hello, Francois.
Hi
How are
there.
you?
That's pretty well, thank you.
Sorry, my French is not very good for you.
That's okay, don't worry. On the electric box, we do have the ground wire that come from the pipe. So the pipe is in the ground, but it's like he says, it's connected in your electric box with the ground that come from the center tap of the transformer. I believe we could probably just separate them and use the real ground that come from the earth and plug in like Alec says. I believe so. We could probably do that.
If you have a smart meter on your house and you do that, you're going to cause the smart meter to have a heart attack.
Really? That's good news.
Well, it might cost you
electricity board like it.
Eh?
Yeah, the electrical system will not be happy with you if you do that. You'd be better off to generate your own earth ground and run a separate line into your house.
Okay, I have a second question for Mr. Keshe.
I'm not here.
It's a very quick one. For the cup of life, let's say if I want to test something, if we use the GANs of the seawater, does it?
It's not advised.
It won't be advised because it's going to take away instead of giving, right?
No, it depends what's the composition of the material in the seawater. And at the moment, you would like the radioactive material levels, especially where you live in that part of the world, or zinc or copper or whatever which you don't need in your body, or materials which are chemically bonded. There is something which I never explained. Let me with your. I don't advise it.
Okay.
Especially for a cup of life. Let me explain to you something, and then we come back to what I wanted to teach today.
Okay.
We are nearly 4:30. We're going to close after this. So I'm not going to discuss it any further, but there are a lot of things we're going to advise. One was about the food, which we spoke about the triangle, which our friend from Romania said, and one in respect to what you discussed about the waters. I go back to this because it's important. I'm going to start it in a way you can cut this segment and put it on the internet. We are very precise about what is going to be discussed. As you know, in 2013, 2012, by the election of His Excellency President Obama, on the day of his election, we received a request from the American government for sharing the USB stick with all the patents of the Keshe Foundation in it, which in turn, on the same day we received in writing from the embassy. We met with the Americans and we gave it to the public. It's on the Keshe Foundation forums. And a lot of people never stood still to understand what we've been repeating for a long time. The President of the United States, His Excellency President Obama, has not decided on the day of his re-election, I'm going to get in touch with Keshe Foundation. It means he's been studying, he's been with us, he has understood the system, and he has understood the work of the Keshe Foundation to be essential for American nation. That's why for him was important, one of the leading world leaders in the world, on the day of his election, to be able to have to give that support to his nation, that it doesn't fall behind the Chinese or the Russians who already had the key. This indicates His Excellency President Obama has stayed close with us in our teaching. Can you close this, please? And in this process, somebody is sharing something on the screen. Can you close this, please? And in that process,
Denny or Rick, can you guys please do that?
in that process, we have confirmation that the White House is closely sitting with the Keshe Foundation. Otherwise, one of the most powerful men in the world on his day of his re-election would not ask, as we released the email from the embassy of the American government in Brussels for request for a meeting, and then with that we led with a peace talk with Iran where we put the hand across the table. Your Excellency, we know you have been online for a long time. We welcome you to Keshe Foundation as a member of the Keshe Foundation family and not as a President of the United States. In certain ways, we received the second response from the White House 2 weeks ago today. A lot of you did not understand, but those who care for your nation responded. On Tuesday, the 2nd of February, in this teaching, at about 30 minutes into the talk, I made this following announcement, that we see earthquake imminent in the United States and we ask for the American government to take action. Your president has responded on the same day, immediately during and after the teachings, which is 8:30 US time. You can read, the link is on the screen. It says America will be shaken like never before. New White House executive order paper for the big one. What to do? What do they know that we do not know? This executive order was issued on the 2nd of February, the day when we release the alert. And you can see it on the screen, you can go and read it and confirm this executive order was issued immediately after the teaching of the 2nd of February. So, Your Excellency, we know you are with us. We invite you to openly join the Keshe Foundation. We know one thing, the President cares and is important. That's why he has put this new force on alert for American nation. But this is not enough. We need this alert for worldwide community, because this earthquake, when it comes, will affect every single one of us. What we have seen is that since the release of this paper, this executive order, a number of other organizations start explaining or announcing different earthquakes possibilities. There is no difference. We are all working as one team, one family, and scientists connected or not connected to Keshe Foundation, warning of the other possibilities all counts. So what this means is, Your Excellency, President Obama, you have my private number, you have my private email. You have written to us before. We respond to you one way. From the Keshe Foundation worldwide, last time we extended the hand of Iran for peace. Now, Keshe Foundation worldwide puts a hand of peace for the world. The lines are open. You know how to get to us. You've done it. You're online, you listen, or your group listen. So, instead of signing executive order for one nation, sign an executive order for the worldwide. Withdraw the American forces and prepare them for what is to come. In so many ways, the 21st, 22nd of April meeting in Dubai, we do not invite governments, but we allow governments to attend as part of the world community. It is important to understand what you need to do in the time of disaster. One of the most important things for you is to feed yourself enough that you do not come or you do not get contaminated by anything else. A lot of you have made the CO2 boxes. A lot of you have built the CO2 boxes in the way of using copper and zinc. One of the main things which you can use in the time of disaster to replace the loss of food in a direct taking for protein is the amino acid which is washed, which is on top of your boxes. This is a protein structure, the same as protein structure of your body. Please understand exactly what you got to do in time when it's needed. When you have your CO2 box, when you make your plates, and you have the fat on the top, that fat is the pure amino acid which your life is based on. It's the original of the creation on this planet. Wash it. If you can find a distilled water, and consume it. Make sure you understand what you do. Those of you who do not want to consume it directly, use the same thing. Wash it, rub it itself on a glass, on a clean glass. In a way, make your glass from outside fully covered with this amino acid. Make sure you wash the protein. Just put it in the water and just turn it around. It's very easy to do. Rub it on the glass and cover the glass with a plastic that you don't touch it. And any water you put in that cup carries the energy of the amino acid. It's like eating meat, it's like eating fish, it's like eating anything else. This is how you overcome immediate hunger in the time of disaster. This is how you can feed yourself for at least 2 to 3 years till stability comes back in any shape or order. Those of you who consume the CO2, is your problem. Those of you who consume the protein in the time of emergency, you have taken a step. But we advise you not to consume it in a way of physical taking, but consume it by putting it on a glass, a cup, and wrap it that you don't touch it, and consume the water. You receive a full energy as you're drinking or eating protein every day. Try to replace the amino acid on regular basis every 2 or 3 days. You just put a cup that it creates amino acids from space, from the environment. This amino acid is uncontaminated. Does not matter if there is a nuclear explosion in the time of the disaster. The amino acid which collected is untouchable, is pure. We expect a large number of nuclear reactors across the world. If this disaster happened to go off, even one of them will be addition to what we had already with Fukushima. So nuclear contamination is inevitable. There is a process that you can decontaminate yourself in the eventuality of the second Fukushima accident, especially on the west coast of United States, in the central line on the Chinese side with the Japanese. Last time we had no warning. This time you can protect yourself. The protection is very simple. Try to create a room, a nano-coated room, with at least 2 layers of nano-coating. Build a cardboard box with 2 layers of aluminum nano-coated if you have. In the olden days, in the Second World War, in England, a lot of houses had a bunker house. People used to go in it whenever the Hitler attacked. In these environments, you create the same nuclear bunker system. Very cheap, very effective, but you cannot just use the aluminum. You need to nano-coat at least 2 sheets of aluminum, both sides on top of each other. The nano-coating absorbs most of the radiation. You can do the same thing if you use anything to be, in the time of disaster, to be radiation proof. You can put it on your body.
make sure you don't come in touch directly with nanomaterial. In the case of emergencies, in the case of disaster, make sure you can use, you have the first wire you come across, try to burn it, and that is your disinfectant. You use the copper, if you find a copper pipe, burn it outside, that it become nano coated. You can do anything you like with it to be going the way you understand to make nano coating. Get the ashes and create the caustic from the ash, which is very normal. And try to get the water pipe, do not nano coat inside the pipe. Just allow the water to go through it. That in so many ways, you absorb every energy you need for you to eat. At the same time, any viruses, infections, most of them can be destroyed. Create patches of copper wire that you can put in the water. Continuously leave it there. And drink from that water. Even if it's a running water, if it's a stagnated water, when you take it out, make copper coils nano coated too. You can do, you know how to make nano coating. A fire which you've seen, been taught from the Innovation Center, creates its own caustic condition as the ash does when you use a caustic. This is something a lot of you never understood. Maybe now you understand better why the nano coating sometimes behaves as good as the caustic, because you make caustic out of the ash. Now you use the copper itself to be the ash of itself. That's why the nano coating works when you do it with a fire. So understand, very simple. Do not ever walk, do not ever come across any material, any water stagnated to drink, unless you put it through a copper nano coated mesh, or you drop a copper wire which is nano coated in a container, that it gives you temporary relief that you do not drink contaminated or irradiated water. Put it across the pipe, decontaminate your waters to drink. The nuclear accident, if any of the power stations goes by the earthquake, it'll be worse than the earthquake itself. We have to respect the report from other scientists around the world, which on the back of the executive order have issued warning and after warning. You must have been surprised how come suddenly so much people are reporting earthquakes everywhere, and they were saying nobody knows what's coming from. This started with the Keshe Foundation warning on the 2nd of February. We've seen the executive order on that day, and other scientists are just adding to it. We see just now comes west coast of California volcano struck by 3.8 M earthquake. This is just coming this afternoon, February. And you see it sits on the Los Angeles area, on the west coast, on the what I call Californian area. So we are imminently going to be hit by earthquake in a short coming time. I can give you the date and the time, but we are not here to create mayhem. I have written a private memo to the Keshe Foundation in a specific Keshe Foundation group. Vince, Rick, you are in that group. Can you bring it out what I explained about everything else?
Okay, I'll see if I can find that, Mr. Keshe.
You know which one I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, it was done a couple of weeks ago, 10 days ago.
I don't know
Well,
if I can access that through my.
I'm looking for it.
Okay, thanks, Vince.
So we have been warning the Keshe Foundation on the people within the group that what is to be expected. We make it public now. This is what we warn our people. I have instructed strongly, I have requested Arman to withdraw his family from Los Angeles area.
We do not know when the time, we will not know how, because if we announce it, it creates a mayhem and we are not in that game. Please understand, this is a strong warning from the Keshe Foundation to people in Philippines, in Indonesia, in Tibet, in Tehran, in Los Angeles, and the rest of the people the way we spoke 2 weeks ago. Earthquake is imminent. This is what we see is getting stronger. I explained to you simply exactly why we see it imminent. If you remember, in summer before autumn time, I explained about the earthquakes and we saw it happening. Because of the change and the pressure on the planet, now the pressure goes on the southern hemisphere. If the point of the maximum pressure falls at a time when South America crosses and the period of the 10 hours we expect of the switch, then the pressure is like literally like a gel, will push the South American continent down. If you have a ball in your hand, sponge, and you push it, if you have a balloon, the other side of the balloon will move. And that movement will release huge number of volcanic eruptions across the world. Because now the indentation, the pressure on the southern hemisphere, on the continent of South America, will squeeze the juice out of the rest, which is the volcanic eruptions. Most of, here it is. Would you like to read it, please? This is what I wrote to my team a couple
Okay.
of weeks ago.
It says, be ready today for start of the big changes, and I hope you are all ready for this change. I have prepared you for it, and now we start the change in the course of humanity. I'll be with you and hope you are strong to carry the changes through. In my name, we shall bring about the beginning and the final phase of peace action today in our teachings. We start the establishment of the unification of the human race today. It is for you all to give and take your position in this change as your souls have agreed.
I have given you another in one of the chats, plasma groups, regarding the measurements of and the size of the waves. Can you take
Okay,
that out?
let me see here.
It's in one of the
I'm looking
plasma.
there too, Rick.
It's the 3 plasma groups we have. In one of them, I warned about the size. Let me explain to you exactly what happens. When the pressure comes, when the southern hemisphere pressure, by the change of the season as it comes, we are going now to the spring and the autumn of the southern hemisphere, the pressure of the southern hemisphere on the continent of South America will squeeze the magma in a way that is changing. And because already situation has moved in a different depth, we will see magma squeezing out of every orifice on this planet. Can you read this one, please?
Okay, in response to the question someone asked in respect to the pending Earth condition we talked about in the 100th workshop, we expect water surges of up to 200 to 300 meters high in a large number of coastal lines, especially Florida, West Coast, Gulf of Mexico shoreline, Portugal, China East Coast, LA movement in shore and up to 300-meter wall in the sea. We see the Tokyo to be not part of the map in the near future. We see London to be flooded to 120-meter wall of water. New Zealand and Hawaii will see 100-meter wall. All islands of Central and East Asia will receive both earth motion and flooding.
We've seen reported earthquake in Hawaii today, this week. This is understanding the total geography of the planet. And
When we speak about the earthquake in Iran, is that the volcanic eruption pressure on the magma will push the magma out of the downward and create the earthquake. So initiator will be partially earthquake with the volcanic eruption and the motion of the planet. This situation is volatile, and in next 2 weeks we expect more movement, and hopefully if the movement does not happen at this time, we move on to October and September, October, and we see that as the go at the time that the final push will come. The breakup will come, and then we'll see huge changes. Please understand, we are in the process of changing the science, and coincidentally, we see the same thing. Be prepared for it, because we start teaching the spaceship program in lift and motion in a rapid way in the coming weeks, to be able at least to move in a position where we can help some people. This is a natural phenomena. Is not, as somebody said, if you wish it, it will happen. You cannot change it. This is not by wish. This is the physical phenomena which is happening to this planet. So my hand of peace goes to you, Excellency President Obama. You're listening. We know you're listening. You responded 2 weeks ago. We would like to have peace, that we can at least help those of people who are going to get hit. It's a domino effect. Once one place goes, the rest will follow. And it's so big that it leaves us no other room but to follow. We have moved to the city of Dubai. We consider it as a safe place, but radiation contamination is a possibility. If the waves hit in the center of or part of Indonesia and back of Philippines, we'll see the whole east coast of Saudi Arabia, all the oil installations will be wiped out. We have come this place to be safe, and we are safe. So be prepared. I am not in a way to create a scaremongering, but we've been correct, we've seen it, we've seen the activities increases, and if the system follows, is inevitable within next, I can give you exactly the date which might happen, but it's for you to be there, to be safe and safeguard yourself. I had said in my last talk, we see Washington and New York shaking. There will be no White House. White House will be flattened with the earthquake which is pending. Even the most strongest man in the world needs a safety box. Any other question?
Always more questions. There was one person that has been asking, let's just get the question up here.
We repeat this again on Thursday, because on Thursday we have different listeners. So we repeat the same thing at the beginning of Thursday for teachings, international, in the teaching on the Thursday morning. For those who haven't heard, please put this on the international lines, because those who want at least can save their lives, or is a meager life worth saving if it's going to be a lot of radiation behind it. Carry on, please.
Well, there's Lilium asks, wants to have a question answered. Does the Magrav work to help for panic attacks?
I don't know. Try it and tell us.
Okay. We do know the reports of people that say that they feel better from the effects of the machine, so of the field. So that's probably an indicator that it might help at that. I'm not sure what other questions we have here. Perhaps we should wrap things up, Mr. Keshe.
Let's wrap it up. Thank you very much. Thursday teaching is the blueprint for agriculture and decontamination. And part of what I explained to you about the aluminum foils for decontamination is part of the teaching. I'm sure other people would add to us. As I said, on Thursday, blueprint, you bring your prints. Please don't forget, go on the Keshe Foundation website, book yourself into the 21st, 22nd of April conference, because either way, we still have to have a say in what is going to happen. On the other hand, as I said, we will link other bits to you that you can make it easier for your flight, and the organization set up in the background to help you with your visas if you need one. There is a small cost you pay to the operators to get it for you, and at the same time they organize the bus trip from any airport or whatever to the center. This is mainly a lot of people to come and learn in the way of process of system building, developing systems and whatever is new. And at the same time, as we said, we are like the Keshe Foundation Universal Council. And then we see where we go and how we develop it. There are a lot of announcements which will come out in the next few days, but I'll find out what today is. Your Excellency President Obama, you're online. We know you're online, you responded twice. Please take the step and accept the hand of world peace from the Keshe Foundation to your government and your office, because if this earthquake happens the way we see it, there shall be no White House. This is how bad it is. And you know it, and you understand it, and your nation waits for your move. Thank you very much for today. We'll see you on Thursday.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you indeed.
And so ends the 5th International Knowledge Seekers Workshop for February 16th, 2016. And as ever, thank you everybody for attending and for presenting things today. Much appreciated. Okay, let's end the live stream.
Thank you, Mr.